Hello and welcome to the Vayakhel-Pekudei edition of the short Vort from Shlishi to Revii. And this week, Perek Lamed Hey, Pasuk Lamed Aleph and Lamed Beis, there's the praise of Betzalel ben Uri ben Hur, that he is someone who had Ruach Elohim, godly spirit, v'chachma v'sguna v'das b'chol malacha, that he had the wisdom and understanding to do all these crafts. And then it says, "V'achshov machshavos lasos bazav v'kesav v'nachoshes." And then he knew how to deal with the various metals, valuable metals, gold and silver and copper. Now, if this is someone who his praise is that he knew actually enough of the depth of the Torah to know what each letter, how can we put into a certain order for understanding and to create certain things, such as the Mishkan. So how is it a praise that, oh yeah, and he can handle gold and silver and copper? That doesn't seem to be, a good follow-up. So there's a story that with Reb Chaim Volozhin, when he started the yeshiva, so he had people who went around collecting for Tzedakah, and at one point, one of the people said, I waste days of going to visit the people because I'm waiting for a wagon to hire to go to the place I need to go. And also, if I would come there in a more prestigious way, then they will give me even more money. So the logic made sense, and over time the Chafetz Chaim gave him first a wagon and then an assistant to go with him, as well as fancier clothing. As Reb Chaim was wont to do, he would sometimes review the pledges and the contributions, and he noticed that there was one Gevir, one rich man, who for years had been giving money, and all of a sudden now was not giving any money. So he called the shliach, and he asked him, well, how come this guy didn't give you money? So the answer was, well, I went there like usual, but he said, no, I'm not giving any more money. He saw the carriage and the assistant and the gold, and he said, look, I even regret giving my money in the past because I see it's not going for the Bnei Yeshiva and to learn Torah, but it's going to give you the kavadik way, an honorific way of living. So Reb Chaim said, all right, next time you go to this wealthy man, I'm going to come with you. And that's what he did. And when this wealthy man saw that Reb Chaim came with him, he was like amazed, what's going on here? And then he found out the reason. The Reb Chaim wanted to know why he was not giving any money anymore. He says, well, in the past I saw the money was going to the yeshiva and the students, and that's why I want to support Torah, but I don't want to be supporting, paying for carriages and feeding horses and fancy clothing. So Reb Chaim said, well, do you know Chumash? So the man says, well, that Chumash is one thing I do know a bit. So he pulled out a pasuk in Pashas Vayakhel, and that's the pasukim that we just read about how Betzalel was able to was being praised, including for Zav Nechoshes, Zav Kesav Nechoshes. So Reb Chaim explained that he asked the question that we just asked, and he said that he was able to, that the Betzalel was able to understand when he made the Mishkan what each person's kavanos were, because everyone wanted to go to give to the highest level, to the Kachi Kadashim. Other people were willing to do the Chatzer, and other people lower levels of giving, but most people really wanted to give to the most prestigious area. So Betzalel was able to evaluate each person. He was Yodea Machshavos, and to know their kavanos, to know what their intent was, and if they had really pure giving, then that money would go towards the Kodesh Kadashim. If it was less pure, it would go to something like the Mizbeach, and if it was less pure, it would be for the Chatzer outside, for building that. Each one according to the appropriate level. So Reb Chaim said to this man, so look, when you give, if your reason of giving is really for pure reasons, don't worry about money that goes for the horses. Your money will go towards supporting the Torah, learning, and the Bachar, and making sure that they're fed and able to learn. And those who have less altruistic motives, whether it's for honor or for some other reason or peer pressure, so they'll be the ones that'll give even for the horses or something lesser. But just remember that everyone who gives, no matter what the motivation, they will be rewarded. So let us remember that when we give tzedakah, we should give it for the purest reasons. But even if we can't make it to the highest levels, even shalol lishma, we will be rewarded. Thank you for listening, and if you liked it, please feel to share and forward and tell your friends about the short Vort from Shlishi to Revii. Thank you, and have a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos. And Mazel Tov to Rachel on her wedding this week.